Can I add a diving board to my pool? This question makes me nervous. You definitely should not add a diving board to your pool. Super definitely don't. With cherries and sprinkles on top, do not add a diving board to your pool. This is not a bolt on peripheral device. There is a lot to consider before you put a diving board on a pool. The first thing to consider is that the diving board is integrally built with the swimming pool. You don't just bolt it to the surface of the deck. That concrete where the diving board is located is way thicker, probably 4 to 6 times as thick as the rest of your pool deck. And you need that for strength, for weight. There's a lot of leverage, a lot of forces involved with the diving board. And you cannot have one ripping out of the ground when you go to jump in the pool. Like somebody's going to get killed from this. So it's incredibly important to understand this is not a bolt-on device. Like in theory, can you add one? Like you can, but it's done during a major renovation. And further to that, you have to understand that there's minimum tolerances for things like the depth of the pool and the distance from the diving board to the long slope. In the average residential pool does not meet the minimum requirements for the diving envelope shape and size that you need. Fiberglass pools, pretty much across the board, are not deep enough. Vinyl liner pools have too many slopes in the deep end. Almost none of those qualify. Unless you have like a super old, super deep concrete pool, your pool is probably not even big enough to have a diving board. Something that you would need to consider is you would have to contact your home insurer to find out how does this affect my premiums. In a lot of places, the home insurance will just flat out drop you if you have a diving board. They just simply don't allow it. There's way too much liability. So, assuming you went and ignored all of this great advice and went and bolted a diving board to your pool, and the worst case scenario happens, there's an accident. You have put yourself in an extremely actionable position. Diving boards are dangerous and they're not something to be toyed around with. You don't install them, as a bolt-on item after the fact, just kind of hoping, it should probably be fine. It's just way too dangerous to do something like that. So you definitely need to look into the minimum requirements and you need to consider a major overhaul renovation of your pool, including the pool deck, such that you can pour some really thick concrete where that diving board is going to be installed. But for the most part, I would encourage you, if you have an existing swimming pool, it's probably not worthwhile adding a diving board at this point. It's going to be super expensive, like 3 to 5 thousand for the diving board, a full renovation of the concrete deck. You're into tens of thousands of dollars to add this diving board to the pool, and that's assuming that the pool is deep enough and long enough to begin with, which in most cases it's not. If you found this information helpful, please be sure to like this video and subscribe to my YouTube channel. And you can check out my website, swimmingpoolsteve.com.